Hey everyone. You're probably noticing I'm like wearing the same thing, but that's because I'm just popping out all these videos because we have no homeschool today. It's a holiday and there's no work and it's like a dreary day outside, so we can't like go outside and enjoy the sun. So I decided to create some of these videos based on the questions that I have been receiving via email and via the comment section. So today we're going to talk about grammar, right? And we're going to talk about some tips that hopefully you can utilize in order to effectively and in a fun way incorporate grammar into your homeschool without having to purchase curriculum. So let's go ahead and get started. I did write some notes down. I normally do because I kind of think about what I want to say beforehand based on what you have asked me, and then I write that down and try to ensure that I answer as many of your questions as possible. So first thing, yes, you can use literature. Yes, you can use your independent reading material, your read aloud material, your morning basket literature. You can use literature books to teach grammar, the parts of speech. You can pick out sentences from that piece of literature, and you can ask your child to classify the sentence or teach them how to classify the sentence, which is basically identifying all the parts of speech. You can even talk to them about a word within that sentence that can be used as a noun and sometimes a verb and sometimes an adjective. Did you know that some words can actually be all three parts of speech depending on how it's used? Here's an example. The word table. Here is a table right next to me. Yes, there is a table right here. Okay. What is that? That's a noun. How about if I say, let's table this video and I'll come right back in a few minutes? I'm using it as a verb, an action, to stop, to cease something, right? And then what about if I say, our neighbor's son today got a tabletop buzz cut, okay, at the barber. That's an adjective. I'm describing the type of haircut that he received today at the barbershop. So when you are reading a sentence in a piece of literature with your children, you can point out those types of things as well. If there are any synonyms or antonyms within whatever you're reading, you can bring that up as well. If there are cool descriptive words, you can explain to them what is a descriptive word. You can even go to a magazine, for example, and cut out words in a magazine and then put it in a jar as an example, and then each person can pick, let's say, 5 words from the jar, and you can create poetry, okay, from those word pieces. You can create a sentence between your words and your child's words. You can work together to create a complete sentence if you can, and you may have to add some words to complete that sentence, right? And if you are missing the word a, right, or the, you can say, okay, well, let's add that word a, or let's add that word the within the sentence. But did you know what those, or do you know what those are called? Those are called articles. And did you know that articles are also adjectives? So you may refer to them as articles or article adjectives. Or you can find a word and say and you can talk about the word and being a fanboy and talk about what fanboys are, right? And create a fan and put the acronym on it and explain to them that fanboys are nothing more than conjunctions. And then depending on the grade level, you can say there are 2 types of conjunctions: coordinating conjunctions and subordinate conjunctions, you know? So you can bring in grammar and the 8 parts of speech and the other aspects of grammar in fun ways. You guys can play bingo. There's an actual bingo game. I think it's in one of my videos that I found, the 8 parts of speech bingo game. You can play those types of games with them. If you have younger kids, you know, 1st, 2nd grade, and you're introducing simple parts of speech like nouns and pronouns as an example, or adjectives and verbs as an example. You can create a bingo card and you can write some of those words in there, and then you can say this word is an action word and it means to move really quickly, like super quick, like to run. What is run? And then they'll use the bingo dotters and they'll dot on the word verb and things of that nature. So you can play those types of games with them. You can play word scavenger hunt. Word scavenger hunt is like they're going around the house. They have index cards and a marker, right? So they're going around the house and they are writing words down based on what they see in the room. Chair, globe, television, floor, blue, red, ugly, cool, whatever the words are. And then you guys bring those words together and then you can create awkward sentences, right? Or you can create incomplete sentences and explain what an incomplete sentence is and what makes a complete sentence, right? And you can talk about, depending on the grade level, you can talk about dependent clauses and how dependent clauses require other words within the sentence in order to make it a complete thought, right? You can even use mnemonic devices to further explain parts of speech. Mnemonic devices are basically like acronyms using song, dance, and things of that nature to help them remember whatever the concept is that you're trying to have them remember. You can also, you can also write short stories together. You can write poems together. And if you're doing that, it doesn't matter about the mechanics. The spelling doesn't matter. Mechanics doesn't matter. Sentence flow doesn't matter. You just want to write a short story and have them write a short story, or they can tell you or narrate the short story to you, and you can write it down, making the grammatical corrections as you're writing it through, and you taking care of the mechanics as you are jotting down what they're narrating to you. And then you can go back to the story that they've created and you can talk about sentence structure depending on the grade level or age. You can talk about whether or not the sentence has any verbs or adverbs or adjectives, and things of that nature, and or conjunctions or transitions, again depending on the grade and age level. Okay, and make it fun, make it colorful, make it fun. You can also use I think it's called Mad Libs. Let me see, hold on. Yeah, it's called Mad Libs. So here it is, and this is a really fun book. They have this for language arts. I'm not sure if they have it for other subjects, but this is really cool. I'm going to just show you a page. Your kid just puts a word. Okay, let's have you look at it. So basically your kid doesn't know what the story is about, right? But all they're doing is they're inputting words based on the part of speech they're asking them to use. So as you can see, the first one says noun. So they'll go ahead and put any noun they can think of. Adjective, any adjective you can think of. Think of another, or think of a verb, then an adverb. Think of another noun and another adjective and things of that nature. So once they put the words in these blanks, then they move on to the story. And they have to use the same words in the order in which they put them. They have to put it in the story, okay? And then once they're done, they can't read the sentence. You tell them, don't cheat. Don't read the sentence. Just insert your word, input your word. And once they're done inputting their word, then either you or the child can read the sentence or read the story aloud. When I tell you, when we do this, my son is on the floor rolling. He is on the floor rolling and laughing to tears, okay? Because sometimes it's just so outlandish and so crazy that it tickles his funny bones, which makes me laugh. So when we don't feel like doing a formal lesson in grammar, he'll go ahead and pull this out. So on my instruction days, We normally do formal grammar. We use lap booking, note booking, unit study approach. We use our curriculum. We use the board. We'll do it in different ways. Okay, when I instruct. But sometimes if we are short on time, or if he has the concept and I feel as though we don't need to redo something or review anything, and I don't want to go to the next concept for whatever reasons, I'll go ahead and tell him do 1 or 2 pages from this math lib for our grammar, and he loves it. So consider, doing fun things like that with your children as well. Also, help your children understand that the 8 parts of speech, its purpose is to help their sentences and stories come alive. It's to help the reader become so vested and interested in what they're saying that they can't stop reading. They want to know what's coming up next, okay? I put here, well, I already told you, search and find, cutting up words, rearranging them, and basically, again, having fun. So I just wanted to pop on today and give you a few tips that you can incorporate within your homeschool without even needing a curriculum or a program. You can go online and look at the table of contents for a few curriculum that are out there or programs that are out there, in effort to see some of the topics that the curriculum covers, and that can be your foundation. That table of contents can be the foundation that you're choosing to teach your children for that particular year. And then you can use that, and then you can go and create your own stuff, your own thing, right? But if you are not the creative person, or someone that's not creative like that, or you're not interested in unit studies, note booking, lap booking, creating and tailoring your own type of program to best fit the needs of your child, then yeah, a program, a pre-written program, or a curriculum may be the best thing for you. They do have open and go curriculum where you can open it up. You read exactly what they want you to say to the child. They prompt you when to ask your child a question. They give you the examples. They provide the quizzes and or tests for your child to complete, and the answers, and the curriculum moves on like that. I have a curriculum like that. Okay, I think it's called First Languages of a Well-Trained Mind. First Language Lessons of a Well-Trained Mind is exactly like that. But I like some of the ways they teach the information. That's why we have it. But I normally use that on a specific day for language arts as a review. I use it as a review of what we're learning. I also use the Shirley method. I don't use their jingles, guys. The Shirley method, those jingles are old, outdated, and boring, okay? So we use vocabulary as our mnemonic devices, or we create our own mnemonic devices in order to memorize parts of speech and other aspects of grammar and language arts. I also like Michael Clay Thompson because it teaches grammar and language through literature. I really like that one. So those are just some examples. So hopefully you've learned at least 1 or 2 things that are of interest that you can think about or even bring into your homeschool. And if you have any questions, leave them in the link the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, guys, 1 second. Okay, sorry. I was real thirsty. But as always, be blessed and make it a great day. Bye.